Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 10 of the Apex Online Racing League F3 for F1 2019. Here we are back for round 10 of the season here at the British Grand Prix. Obviously this league, quite a lot of Brits involved, so it's certain that I'm sure there's a lot of us that would love to try and take home our home race victory here today. Coming into this one though, Humperdinck was just 2 points ahead of us after he got the win last time out at Austria. Obviously, if you missed out on that video, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. A very good race at the end of the day. Not quite the result we would have wanted, but I won't leave too many spoilers at the start of this one. In the background is currently my fastest lap of qualifying. But yeah, after the last round, obviously Humperdinck retook the lead in the in the Drivers' Championship, even I should say. So I was hungry, you know. We've got a 2-week break after this British Grand Prix. I wanted to head into that break with the lead of the title. That was the only aim I had coming at this Grand Prix. I didn't care if I beat Humperdinck for second and third, say, and we went into the break with a 1-point advantage. I didn't care if we came, 8th and 9th, and we left tied, because obviously I'd be in the lead by virtue of wins. All I wanted to do was just be ahead of him before we head into the 2-week break at the halfway stage of the season here. Mainly because obviously the Mexican Grand Prix and the US Grand Prix is why we won't be racing. But yeah, really looking to try and build up some momentum once again, because I'll be honest, Austria, I definitely did feel a bit of a knockback in terms of confidence, in terms of raw pace, everything like that. You know, it's not like I just felt comfortable after 3 wins in a row. I certainly knew the pace was still there by a lot of the guys around me, but yeah, we definitely wanted to, not sort of forget how to win races here as being a bit of a mistake through the final corner. That's going to leave us on a 1:26.6 there, our fastest lap at that stage of the session. And still a fair bit of time left on the clock, so we would go back out again here. Unfortunately, would actually invalidate our final run. As you can see, we were already a couple of tenths down, unfortunately, so I just went balls to the wall in through the final sector of the lap here. But yeah, like I said, although third place last time out was still a decent result, didn't sort of want to forget how to win races, everything like that. Wanted to try and keep on the momentum at the moment that we've really built, since the Monaco Grand Prix. We've been, we've dropped 10 points from a theoretical maximum, excluding fastest lap, so like 13, 14 points, I think, over the last few weeks here. So yeah, really wanted to try and continue on that good form in this championship overall there. And you can see at the end of qualifying, 58 thousandths off the pole, and we start third. I think now that's the 6th time so far this season I've qualified less than a 1/10 of a second off pole there. The 7th time in under 2/10. It's ridiculous at the moment in this series. Everyone is just so close. You can see it is Humperdinck though ahead of Vulcan, myself, and Stewie on the front row there. I think that's Humperdinck's first pole position since like round 3. I think now we've had 2, Humperdinck's had 2, Vulcan's had 2, Stewie's had 2, and then LCR Ben and X-Power have both had 1 as well here. But yeah, getting ready then for the British Grand Prix. It is certainly not a track that is difficult to overtake at. The slipstream trains, I'm sure, will be monumental here in today's race. But yeah, really looking forward to it. First time I'm not starting on the front row, I think, since the Spanish Grand Prix. So, hopefully we don't get involved in any sort of tangles in the opening lap. But yeah, 26 laps ahead of us. We will wait and see. Ready then on the grid for the British Grand Prix. The 5 lights are coming on now. It is 5 lights here in Silverstone, and it is lights out, and away we go there. Once again, they're responding initially very well to the lights there, but just getting a little bit of wheel spin on the run down towards T1. Though do means we are comfortably ahead of Stewie there. You can see Humperdinck and Vulcan going through the first couple of corners here. I thought about trying to run wide and, not allowing someone up the inside from behind there, but already contact between Vulcan and Humperdinck here. We've got to give Stewie the room on the inside there. Vulcan runs a bit deep on the exit of the first couple of corners there. We've still got to give Stewie the room, but we do slot back in just in front of him here. And now the slipstream train already taking effect here. Humperdinck goes defensive on Vulcan there. We tried to look right around the outside there. Vulcan is just going to slam the door shut on myself though. Oh, nearly a bit of contact. There's definitely some contact with Humperdinck there. No idea how none of us have picked up any damage off the start there. But yeah, the only swap around in the end was Vulcan getting past Humperdinck. Now, I thought, in all honesty, we might have been able to get around the outside of the pair of them down at, I think it's Brooklyn's, on the opening lap there. But unfortunately, not that time around. Vulcan runs very deep through the old T1 there. And yeah, we have to slot in to P3 off the start there. Stewie thinks about having a look up the inside, so we try to give him the room as we head through the Magnussen Beckett section there. But yeah, slot back down into P3 off the start of this Grand Prix there. Really not what we wanted. You know, usually we try to make progress on the opening lap, and I think every race since the Monaco Grand Prix where we started from pole, we have done so in this series there. You can see onto lap 3 though, still all over the back of Humperdinck and Vulcan here as we head out on to the back straightaway here, using the overtake mode, using the ERS, everything like that. Rich revs as we head down the back straight. Vulcan is actually going to give me the slipstream there and then slot back over to the racing line, so we're going to be able to have a look up the inside of the pair of them here, and we could have made the double overtake work on lap 1. We are certainly going to try and make it work on lap 3 here, almost 3 wide as we head down in towards the final couple of corners there. We now slot up into the lead of this Grand Prix there. Humperdinck, no, sorry, Vulcan even, I should say, is going to try and get a good run at the final couple of corners there. Can't make it work at the moment as we head down in towards T1 though. Once again, we are now, back up into the lead of this Grand Prix here. Are we going to be able to hold on to it for very long though? Like I said, the slipstream around here is absolutely monumental. It's so easy to just try and get back past the car in front of you there, as Vulcan actually just dinks the back of me as we head through the complex there, through Sector 1, and now back out onto the back straightaway here. Are we going to be able to get any sort of run? No, Vulcan is just going to be so much quicker as we head down this straightaway here. Stewie might try and follow him through there. Yes, he does. He runs me out very, very wide. I think Stewie must have mistimed his braking point there ever so slightly. Again, lucky that no one picked up any damage here. You know, the contact level on F1 2019 does seem to allow for some good racing and everything like that there. But obviously, with that bit of contact with Stewie, meant the Vulcan was able to reclaim the lead of this race there with a little bit more ease than I probably would have liked there. And yeah, back up now into P2 though, still holding on at the moment here. And you can see just the train at the moment throughout, I mean, the top sort of 10, roughly, 9 or 10 here. You know, it's so easy just to stick in that toe and try to keep up at the moment as we head out onto the back straightaway once again here. Are we going to be able to get close enough to Vulcan once more here, using everything to the car's disposal here? Vulcan tries to play a little bit defensive there, but we go even more up the inside, slot it on the apex there, not allowing the switchback move on the exit of the corner there, and then playing it very defensive as we head out of the next couple of corners there. Actually slammed the door shut on Vulcan a little bit later than I had originally intended, but yeah, that would mean Stewie would now move back up into P2 of the Grand Prix, and now he's going to try and get in on the action for the race lead here as well. 4 different drivers have led in the opening 5 laps of this British Grand Prix. You don't get that all too often in the wonderful world of Formula 1 here, but we won't give it up just yet though. Tried to hook it up around the outside of Stewie, but he would now slot up into the lead of the Grand Prix here, and you can see over the next couple of laps though, we would try to work together here in this Grand Prix and really try and bridge a bit of a gap to Humperdinck behind us as well. You can see at the end of lap 9, we would now be 2.2 seconds ahead of Humperdinck and Vulcan here. Not too sure what happened between the pair of them there, but yeah, really, just that 1 second window was so important in this Grand Prix here. And you can see by the end of lap 9 though, Stewie's starting to make a little bit of a gap here. We're getting a huge moment of wheel spin out of the final couple of corners there, and Stewie's actually going to dive into the pit lane here, and that was not what I needed in this Grand Prix. I was wary of the undercut after the Austrian Grand Prix last time out there, and yeah, that was not what we needed in this race here. We're going to have to try and go for the overcut once again here, and I knew we had to throw everything that this car had on to this lap 10 here, because I mean, we could so easily get the undercut in this Grand Prix here. Luckily, I would get a little bit lucky. Stewie would get held up in the pit lane actually behind my teammate Jamie, so I guess that worked out quite well in the end there, and it was a good job obviously I didn't pit, because yeah, that could have screwed Jamie's race as well here. Now we are still leading the way in the constructors, and we definitely want to try and build up a bit of an advantage, because I mean, the Renaults, when they come out of the blocks running, they are pretty much, you know, going to be almost impossible to try and beat in terms of the constructors here. But yeah, coming into the pit lane though at the end of lap 10, start of lap 11, we get a nice 2.6 second pit stop. Luckily, Stout ahead of a couple of cars just ahead. You know, you can see Vulcan came actually in as well. Obviously, lucky not to get held up by potentially a couple of cars towards the rear of the field there. And heading back out of the pit lane, you can see Stewie and Humperdinck across the start-finish line there. We are now going to move up into the lead of this British Grand Prix there. So we have somehow made the overcut work around this British Grand Prix circuit here, but obviously we're going to have cold tyres over the next couple of laps here, and Stewie and Humperdinck, I'm sure, are going to be absolutely going for it still at this stage of the day there. You know, Stewie's not going to have so much dirty air. He might still have the DRS as well, and you can see over the next few laps, so yeah, Humperdinck and Stewie would just close back down that gap so much here as we head through the old T1. They're actually going to lose the DRS as well in this Grand Prix, so really not what we needed here. The car is starting to fall apart at the halfway stage of this race here, and this could potentially completely screw us in this Grand Prix here. If Stewie and Humperdinck get ahead of us once again in this race, we will have nothing that we can do to try and get back past them here. But over the next couple of laps though, I would slowly work out what Stewie was trying to do in this Grand Prix. You can see he wasn't actually gaining all too much down the front, down the back straightaway here, down the hanger straight. So it was quite clear what he was trying to do at the moment was just completely, you know, try to make me completely burn through my ERS here, leaving me nothing to defend with, and then obviously try and get through. It's quite a common tactic you can use, especially around a track like Silverstone. You know, if you're in the lead, you've really, really got to try and micromanage your car around this circuit, because you can see I'm using lean revs and, sorry, lean fuel, and then obviously no ERS as we head through the middle sector here, and then flicking it back up onto the medium here. Is Stewie going to try and have a look this time around? You know, he potentially thought, you know, perhaps he's shredded all of my stuff. And yeah, we're not even going to try and play defensive there. We're just going to allow him through, back down. And you can see, just by how little he was gaining towards the end of the straight there, it was quite clear that he was really, really trying to utilise that as well here. You know, trying to use up all of my ERS here. And you can see, through the final couple of corners there, locking up the rear brakes. Actually, that could have been quite bad if we ran straight into the back of him there. Sebastian Vettel style in this Grand Prix. But yeah, over the next couple of laps, though, we would just be trying to stick with Stewie. He was definitely very, very quick in the clear air around this circuit. Yeah, really just trying to stay as close as possible here, but also trying to micromanage the ERS, everything like that. And you can see by lap 24 of this Grand Prix here, that's what we've done. We tried to do what Stewie did to me. I'm sure he's well aware of the strat as well here. You can see down the back straight wheel, this was the chance to pounce. Up the inside we go on Stewie here with just a couple of laps to go of this Grand Prix. Get the car slowed down nice and tidily here, and now we can't allow him to try and get a switchback move here. We need to stay strong over these next couple of laps here. Stewie, though, wouldn't be able to get the run out of the next couple of corners there. He'd actually make a little bit of a mistake through the Magnussen-Beckett section here. As we head on to the final lap now of this British Grand Prix here, it is still myself, Stewie, and Humperdinck here. Vulcan would unfortunately make a couple of mistakes in the Grand Prix that would see him a little bit further down the order than he would have wanted here at the end of the day here. But one lap to go. Stewie 2 tenths back. Humperdinck about another 4 tenths back behind him. We need to try and hold on as best as possible here. You can see Stewie makes a bit of a mistake and runs a bit deep through the complex there. Gets a bit of wheel spin on the exit here, and this was our chance. Now we needed to break away here with just half a lap to go of this British Grand Prix. You can see Stewie under pressure from Humperdinck. This was the opportunity. We needed to use everything that we had to our disposal here. Break away, as, you know, with half a lap to go here, we just needed, you know, sort of a 7-8 tenth advantage as we got ready for the hanger straight here, and that's what we needed to do. You can see we've got just a little bit left in the tank here, using up all of our ERS, all of our rich revs here, just to try and hold on as we head through the old T1 here, going aggressively as possible there, making sure we kept it between the white lines there. Penalties wouldn't matter. We all had 3 seconds worth of pens at this late stage of the Grand Prix here, as we head through the, you know, Cops and, sorry, Magnussen-Beckett section once again here. What is the gap going to be out onto the back straightaway? It's 7 tenths of a second over Stewie there. That was exactly what we needed as we head down in towards the final few corners of this Grand Prix here. Keeping it nice and tidy here. We have just about done enough. Stewie is not going to be close enough as we head down in towards the final braking zone of the lap here. And you can see through the final couple of corners we go. It has been a race-long battle once again with Stewie and Humperdinck, but it's P1 at the end of the British Grand Prix that I've almost lost my voice after that one. What a battle with Stewie and Humperdinck once again. You know, we get so many insane rivalries with these two so far. You know, Vulcan as well was a bit unlucky in that Grand Prix, just lacks the consistency at the end of the day there. He would finish down in P7, but it is the win once again in AOR. Hopefully Austria was just a little bit of a blip in terms of performance here, and getting ready for the next few rounds of the championship. Germany I quite enjoy, Hungary not so much on the F1 2019 game. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see about that. But I mean, looking into the future, Spa and Monza as well should definitely be 2 tracks that we are very, very strong at. You can see, in terms of the race results, there was myself. I had a Stewie, Humperdinck, Jamie, Schweiz, X-Power, Vulcan, Ben, Giza, Iron Weasel, Constant Ryan, Kez, and Riley would unfortunately disconnect there with Kizzy not making it through to the end of the Grand Prix. That means that Jamie and I have also made up some good points in the constructors standings as well there. Does mean obviously we still are in the lead of both titles there. We now have a 9-point lead as we head into this 2-week break over Humperdinck here. And I think we've got about a 20-point lead over Renault as well. Ferrari really trying to bring themselves back up into the constructors fight as well. Schweiz starting to get a couple of really good results on the board as well. But what a race at the end of the day. It's finally victory at the British Grand Prix. I've never had much luck around this circuit. I think I never raced in Season 12, never raced it in Season 13. Season 14, I think I scored a couple of points, and then Season 16 even, I should say, we got taken out which unfortunately ruined what could have been quite a good evening as well. But yeah, P1 in the British Grand Prix. It's another track I can tick off the list of races that we are yet to win on the F1 at 20. Well, just AOR in general, even, sorry, I should say, at the end of the day. Their fastest lap as well means that, yeah, we pick up as many points as we possibly could from this Grand Prix there. And like I said, Stewie in second for Renault, Humperdinck in third for Ferrari there, with Jamie in that other Haas car in fourth. Schweiz, X-Power, Vulcan, Ben, Giza, Iron Weasel rounding out the finishes, rounding out the point scorers even, I should say, with Constant Ryan, Kez and Riley all, well, Riley, like I said, disconnected there, and yeah, Kez and Constant Ryan just not scoring points at the end of the day. But thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, we've got a couple of weeks break ahead of us now. Time to relax, recharge the batteries and focus on some other leagues as well. But yeah, that'll do us then for the British Grand Prix. And hopefully I will see you guys back here in a couple of weeks ready for the German Grand Prix.